Life has these things called hurdles. And sadly, every time we hop on a program or we get a new job or we do something new, we expect everything to go perfectly. And the main reason for that is because when we do something new or when we change, we put all our effort into it. So we forget about how life really works. And let's be honest, we all know how life really works. We're all here to get into the best versions of ourselves. And when we start, at least most of us, we go hard, right? Nothing can stop us. We're like a freight train going at a million miles an hour, and anything in front of us gets smashed. Yeah, until we slow down. What happens when we slow down? What happens when that birthday comes around? What happens when Christmas comes around? That family event, that work occasion, whatever it may be. A lot of us fall off the rails. The thing with falling off the rails, not bad, because luckily we have feet. We're not placed on these two rails and we cannot get back on. We can adapt. We can get off those rails, fall off for, let's say, a day or a meal, and jump back on and get back into making progress. The big difference between somebody that continuously strives and creates success is when they fall off, they get right back on, right? That minute minute in space, that one day, which is it doesn't matter. One day does not matter in the grand scheme of things. You can just delete it. Delete that day off your calendar. Just start off anew. Now, what people tend to do, and we try not to do, is when things go bad, you get in that like screw it mentality, right? Ah, screw it. I already messed up the one day. I'm going to mess up the whole week because why not? I already messed it up. So if my week's not going to be perfect or my day's not going to be perfect, my week's might as well not be perfect. And that is what just ruins everything in every aspect of your life. If you get totally derailed because of the mistakes that happen in your day to day, because we are imperfect beings and you cannot get back on the horse, get back on those train tracks, then whatever results you're going to get are eventually going to fade because something's going to happen. A chain of things are going to happen. And you're going to have to be able to balance your way through these events and make do with what you need to do in order to keep or succeed, right? You might get to a point where you're just maintaining. And that's amazing. I hope everybody gets there. And when you get there, you still have to be cognizant of what's happening. You still need to be cognizant of what's going on around you because you have a routine that you try your best to keep. You might be tired one day, you might be sick, you might have a work occasion, you might travel X, Y, and Z, but you know how to steer clear of these because of the mistakes that happen, because of everything that's happened in your life. You've developed these mechanisms to adapt and overcome. And with that comes achievement. And once you've achieved something from creating it from mishaps, that's when you keep it forever. Because it's like I don't know how many times I've said this. It is so easy to do something in the perfect environment. It's it's not a challenge. If everything is given to you and you don't understand what it takes to go through those hurdles, to jump through those hoops, and still maintain and strive for success and create goals that you're achieving time after time, if you've done that without struggle, you really haven't learned anything. Where you really learn your core self and what you can really do is during these hard times. During these hard times, you start figuring out who you are, figuring out your weaknesses, figuring out where you have to put more time and effort towards. One thing might be easy, but when something else happens, this other thing might be super difficult. So you focus on that more. And that happens time after time after time after time forever. And we keep getting better. That's why we are always growing, like perpetual growth. We never stop growing because something new is always happening because every day is not the same. Every month is not the same. And we learn from that. So this whole thing is just me trying to tell you, make mistakes. Do it. grow from it. We all like saying we're falling forward, right? We're falling up. We're growing as we fail. Because without failure, there is no growth. There is no growth in perfection because everything is given to you. If you never had to learn and adapt, you never understood the process. And with that process, you become better. It's processing you. It's literally like you're loading consistently, right? You're downloading data all the time and just implementing it. But if we don't let it implement into our lives and instead we're just like, yeah, I don't want to, it was a bad day. It was a bad week. It was a bad month. I was tired. It wasn't sunny outside. So, I'm just going to, I'm going to give up for this week. Give up 1 week. You give up 2 weeks. You give up a month. You give up a year. And then you're worse off than where you were before. Just because you let that spiraling effect happen. And it happens to all of us, sadly. It's just, you need to know how to catch yourself when you're spiraling down. You need to talk to somebody. You need to change something. Because that spiral is a death spiral. We don't want that. We want to spiral up, not spiral down. Because our mistakes, like I said, mistakes can lead to two things: growth or just spiraling down. But if you have the right mindset and you have the right determination and you have goals in place, every mistake is just a new moment for you to grow. So I want you guys to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We're not perfect. And grow from those mistakes, because the more we make and the more we adapt, the better individuals we become. I'll talk to you guys next time.